What's up, y'all? This is Henny. It's Friday, and I know it's been a minute, but we right back to it. Promise. Run it! Gotta keep it real. My schedule caught up to me. There was a lot going on. I had a lot on my plate, and I could not get back to my hangouts as regular as I needed to over the last couple weeks. That's just how it went. BeatMaker 3. It's been out for a couple weeks now. Man, this app is dope as hell. I had to take a few weeks to really get to know it. I didn't want to review it. I didn't want to go through it. I didn't want to show any type of tutorials until I really had a good understanding of how I was going to use it and how it was different than BeatMaker 2 or Cubasis or Aria Pro or any of these iOS DAWs that we've talked about earlier. But today, I think I'm ready to talk about it. So let's get to it. Do it! So let's talk BeatMaker 3 and everything that I'm loving about it and the few little quirks that I've had so far. Now, I know everybody out there watching the video knows that there's a ton of reviews and tutorials out there so far. My take is just trying to figure out how I use it in my workflow. As everybody's, who's followed me so far knows that, I'm looking for the best digital audio workstation available on iOS. And, the only thing that I was really missing from, apps like Cubasis 2 or Aria Pro is, the way that you can really build a track up, and then also how it's laid out, how easy it is to organize your files. Because at the end of the day, the best way to have, a good workflow is to have your files organized as good as possible. And that's what I'm loving about BeatMaker 3 already being about a month and some change in. See, for instance, if you start up new session, and this is your first time using something like BeatMaker 3, you see here you got your search, you got your documents, you got your store, you got your general setup. If you're using any type of MIDI, Bluetooth MIDI, you would connect it there. I'm using the X Key Air. And my first thing to do was to figure out how to get my sounds, my normal drums that I've been using for years in here and see how easy that was. And it was pretty simple, going over here, going to documents, I had going to Dropbox, I have a file right here called drums.zip. I basically found my drums zip file over here and started to download it, and it downloads directly into my documents, what I thought was excellent. Once you're out of there, you click Dropbox again, and you'll see that it downloads into your documents. You can either unzip it right there, which I've already done, and from there you can just go to edit. You can go, whatever file it is, and move it to where you like. I moved it into the samples folder right here, the drums, and as you can tell, I have everything laid out from bass to chimes, claps, crashes, fills, hats, kicks, all of that. And what's super dope is the fact that now I can go to my samples and search anything that I'm looking for. If I'm looking just for percussions, these are anything that's labeled percussion, And if you like a sound, if you want a sound specifically for, easy use, you just hit this star button, and that's going to be at the top of your samples. I have some 808s here, some snaps that I'll use from time to time, 808s and stuff like that. And it makes it easy for you to find, which is super convenient when it comes to having a digital audio workstation with a good workflow. The second thing I had to do was start to create my banks. So once I have all my samples in here, it's easy to drag and drop just like BeatMaker 2 to create your kits, I always love that, the drag and drop availability to make it easy. And you go there, you start editing your samples however you like, which I love. Sometimes it's really about getting into your samples and editing them the way that you'd like, and this saturate is super dope. So, just taking that and just even like a low pass. So many things that you can do with this setup here having the availability to really go in and edit these samples is clutch for making sure you get the right sound that you're wanting for your track. So I'm loving this part of BeatMaker 3 and everything that they have it laid out. Even like this sample right here, I have a few different drum loops on this WAV file. I can go into the edit, look at it. Maybe I just want that first loop. Go to edit. Maybe just want this first loop. Let's trim that. Let's get it starting a little bit right on the money. Trim again. It's a little loose. Trim it one more time. Now, I have the loop as a, what is that, 2-bar loop? One bar loop. And I go to slice mode. I could do auto slice and split it, you know, into maybe, let's see here, auto slice into, I don't know, 8 pieces. All right, you got 1, you got 2, 3, 4, and save slices to pads on the current one. No no choke. Create pattern. Just apply. All right. Now I'm up here. Go back to this. Just that availability to chop your samples up like that. Apply it to your pads. Super easy. It's something that you can do on a lot of different devices. But on BeatMaker 3, it just is another piece that adds a great element to your workflow. And so for me, when I'm working in, you know, working with samples, chopping it up, even if it's a loop, it's invaluable. You know what I mean? To really create something that you really want to get out of this thing, man. It's just it's dope. And a lot of people are talking about the crashing on this app, and you know, you got to give the developers credit. You know, it still has a little bit of kinks there, and it's a lot to work through. And I have had some crashes here and there, but their autosave feature is pretty accurate. And so, you know, I haven't lost a ton of work yet, and it's still early. They're still trying to make sure that everything is, you know, is as best as it can possibly be on every single device. You know, I know that there's people who have, you know, a little bit older devices that might have a little trouble. This is, you know, the iPad Pro. It's not giving me any issues. It does hiccup every once in a while, but for the most part, this thing has been super dope, and it hasn't given me no issues. Now, when it comes to the sequencing area, let me show you. I can go up here, go to my sessions, and let's just load up one that I was working on a while back, and let's see what it sounds like. Simple loop that I was working on a few days ago, and something that I like about, always loved about BeatMaker is the ease of use when it comes to just making duplicates. When you're making tracks and you want to duplicate your track out, and then from there edit the pieces. I don't know why other apps don't make it easier to do that, you know, and just take that piece out here, take this piece out there, take this piece out there, you know, take this piece out. And it makes editing your whole sequence very easy. And I've always liked that. I like the fact now that in the mix window, you know, when it comes to your your drum banks. It's easy to just double tap on a drum bank and it shows you the mix of your drums like a subcategory in Logic or something like that. And every single drum can have its specific set of effects up here that you can add. Come on, man. Like, that makes it super easy to mix your drums, and then from there mix everything else with it. And let's go back to, the sequencing part, or actually, the programming. What I really love is like this hat feature, this roll feature here for some of my hats. Say for instance, I have this hat and I can just easily drag my finger around this for hat rolls and stuff like that, maybe snare rolls and things. Come on, man. Let me show you that. Two-handed. Easy hi-hats. Shit like that just has me like, man. It's making it too easy for them. It's making it too easy. So even like the effects features in the mix window. Say for instance, I solo this. Let's change that color to something I know. I love being able to change the colors just as easy as, tapping, color change. Because I love to, I keep my colors specific to what instrument it is. I like greens as drums, blue is bass, purple is percussion, yellow is effects. So if this is percussion, I would change that more to a purple. Drums are usually green. So go in here, right? Go to effects. I like this effect by Versin called Audio Effects. And did I put it on the right bank? No, sorry. So already I have a auto pan on this. A widener. And I put a little low pass filter on this. But even to add some more, this audio unit called Audio Effects from Versin. It gives me, paramedic EQ, drive, flanger, phaser, delay, reverb, chorus, all in one audio unit package. So you can turn them on and off. Let's see if I put a little drive to this. Hard drive. A little more reverb. All right. Maybe a little chorus, just a little bit of that. Just simple stuff, but it's all in one audio unit, which is dope that you can put it on any track. And turn this up a little bit. So you can see as you're getting into your mixes, it can become really, really dynamic. And I'm loving the fact that I can do so much in this app without leaving and feeling like I need to go to another app for, getting the sound right or the drums right. If I'm using something like, even if I'm importing, the import feature in BeatMaker 2 was awful. Yeah, pretty much had to copy and paste and do all those things, and they've made it super easy if I'm using something like Bloxwave and import directly into this app. And let me show you how that works. Simple little setup. Go there, change it to wave, go to export. and it's right there. Import right into BeatMaker. Unzipped content available in the imports directory. It tells you exactly where it is. Like Cubase's 2, it was so much trouble trying to get your files to show up, because if you had a lot of files in there, it would kind of take a while for them to show in the queue of what directory they're supposed to be in. That shit used to drive me insane. So, now that it says that it's in the imports folder, that thing's called Huge Attraction, and there's your files. And it's just as simple as dragging those files over here to, anywhere in here, boom, and there you go. To me, that's ease of use. That's making it so that you don't have to worry so much about finding your files and figuring out where they are, how to get them in and out of apps. It just works. And that's why I know that all the things that I've been looking for in a digital audio workstation, BeatMaker 3 is giving everything that I need. Now, there are a few things that I'm trying to still figure out why I can't figure out. Like, why can't I tap this, maybe like the meter, right? It's showing in bars. If I want to see it in time, why can't I just tap that or hold tap and show me in real time versus in bar mode, right? I mean, that's a simple quirk, but for me, sometimes as I'm doing something like my adventure videos, I want to know exactly how long a track has been before, I edit it a certain way, because, when I do my adventures, it's usually in 60 seconds or less. And so I want to know in time how that can work. So, into it. Let's get a hold, a hold tap or double tap on, the clock reader so that I can see it in real time versus bars. But other than that, man, all the quantization is good. The swing is good. You can turn it on and off. The click is the automation is solid. And the export is just as easy as it was before. You can click this double tap. You can say export. You want to say you want to do a loop or you want to do the whole song. It's going to say 48 bars loop. You can change to AAC. You can do it as wave. You can do all the tracks. Select which tracks to export. I mean, it's crazy. Just how much detail is in this app. And so, I really appreciate everything that they've done so far in this app. This is really just a simple way that I got started with it, and some of the ways that I'm getting, very familiar with it. It's only been a month, and I know it's been a while since I've made a video, but for me, I really want to go in and learn an app as much as I can. And the one thing that I have not focused too much on are these macros, where you can set any one of these specific functions to do, a specific task. I haven't used that as much in the, sequence area. I don't use these scenes much. I'm not a scenes guy. I'm more of a song sequence, linear based digital audio workstation workflow. And, when it comes to patterns, you can easily go in here, turn the live stretch on if you want it to stretch to the tempo. Ah, man, there's just too much to show it on one video. But I wanted to give you an overview and really start getting back into hanging out with everybody, showing everybody what I've been on and what I'm doing. And that's my first look at BeatMaker 2 and how it's going to work for me. I'll have a complete workflow video coming soon, and more videos coming up. So yeah, that's it. Thank y'all for watching, and I'm going back. Yime! So that's how I get down with BeatMaker 3. I'm telling you, this is my go-to app for a digital audio workstation, hands down right now. It's very in-depth. It's got a lot of options in that app. And I'm telling you, I don't think I'll be using any other iOS DAWs for a while. If you haven't checked it out, please go check it out. Because it's a lot to learn. It's a lot to get started and get figured out. But once you get it right, man, it's crazy. That's all I can say, man. Fucking crazy. For real. A few weeks ago, I watched a video online that talked about redefining your goals. It was by Vashin Lakiani. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. And it really had me thinking after I finished watching that video, as he broke down the 3 ways that you should go about your life to really have a redefined goal structure in your existence. And he talked about the experiences you have, plus the growth that you want, plus the contributions that you want to give out. That'll equal the pure goal that you want for your life. And so I started thinking about, I'm a gadget guy, I'm a thing guy. I love things, I love gadgets, I love trinkets, I love buying things here and there and seeing what they can do. But I also love experiences. So I took time, put the camera down for a second, and just experience life without the thought of how's this shot, or what lens should I be using, or, how should I put this together. I took time to just spend time with the family, spend time with friends as we had this summer vacation. And I also thought about my growth and what things that I want for my life over the next year. How do I want to grow as a man, as a businessman, as a father, as a husband, all the things that make me who I am. I really started to think about that as well. And then, of course, my contributions and things like this, where I'm helping others just because I want to, just because I want to give back. There are many other ways that I love to give back, but this is just one of them. So I think about my experiences, I think about my growth, and I think about my contributions, not only for today and not only for 5 years from now, but for the rest of my life. If I think about those 3 things, I'll really have a redefined goal. And I challenge you to start thinking about those things. I know we're sometimes so stuck on doing all these little things, these micro little goals here and there to get to a place that we're not sure how it's going to even look like. But think about just what you want to experience. Think about how you want to grow and how do you want to give back. That's why I've taken some time off. But I'm back, ready to give you more, ready to show you more, ready to inspire. That's all I got for today. Check out my man's link on that video on redefining goals, and I'll see you in the next one. And I'm out.